Hello, we're going to work today on bringing in the Adobe Color Scheme into Animate and seeing how you can add the Adobe Color Schemes directly into the swatches. So here we go. We're working on the identity card deck, and we want to have a very specific color scheme for each of the cards that brings forward their identity and really who they are in the world. So the card that I'm working from is the Ace of Spades. And in the project, we determined that we wanted to use a spreadsheet to determine the color index. We worked with a lot of different skin tones, and we spread those out. Your skin tone is not necessarily that person is not necessarily who they are. That's just an example person with that Pantone color skin tone. So I'm going to choose a different person this time. I'm going to go with the Queen of Diamonds, which has not yet been selected, and I'm going to find this this hex code. This is the hex color code from Pantone. I'm going to copy that. You can see that that matches the color of his skin, more or less. Then we're going to go to the color scheme in adobecolor.com. If you start at adobecolor.com, it's just going to give you something that's really basic. It might be something that you've landed on from before. It will generally be brighter. Okay, so what I'd like to do right now is to put that color code right here. So I'm going to paste this into there, and I'll hit return, and then that is the color of the skin of the person that I'm going to be doing. Then I need to find some other color schemes. If I change these, it's going to use this color and choose a triad, complementary, whatever. So you can use those. You can also alter and play with that. Oops, but it does look like it's adjusting the color code of the number. So I do want to go into custom and find some other color sets. So you can see when I'm clicking on this one, it's going to give me this as a highlight, and I can click and choose different areas to work in, and I can decide that I want it to go darker or lighter within this section. One thing to really watch for, and you can do this by switching these around, make sure that there's enough contrast between all of these colors so that they're going to be able to stand out from each other. One thing that I see right here in my color set is I don't have a very, very light color. So I'm going to choose a lighter color for this. Maybe it's going to be more into the yellows and light. So I'm just going to kind of keep pushing this until I have a variety of values. And I do like to push these things around and make sure that that's going to work well. These colors should go with your story and the theme. So I'm going to play with this green until it gives me a tone that feels appropriate for my story. So I'm going to I have different palettes saved. You'll want to start to save a different name for them. So this is a diversity deck. You're starting to build a diversity color deck. You can call it whatever you want, but the name is what you want to have be very specific. So this is because it's something that can be in Adobe Color, you want to be able to use it for more things than once. So I'm going to call this, according to my character, which is pink sunburn summer. I think that will be a good thing to do. You can do tags like summer or sunburn or ice cream. These are kind of things that you can write that will help the tags be interesting and able to be seen by other people. So I'll hit save. And that theme has successfully saved. I'll want to check out my themes. The themes are then saved here, and this is my new theme. I have other card sets that I've done, the Inuit colors. I just worked on one with another student, Venus Pan, and Pink Sunburn is my new one. I can download it, but I do want to show you how we're going to bring it right into Adobe. So I'm in Animate, so you would open up your Animate, and then there's a couple different ways that you're going to do it. This is the swatches. If we're in Window and looking for workspaces, and I've got this on small screen right now, and it kind of helps everything to show up for my videos. Let me just double click this up here. Okay, so on the swatches, you can see that I've already loaded the color swatch set for the print. And the other place to look is under CC Libraries. And this is my new, I've got Venus Pan, and then this is Windmill, Sherbet Skin Tones. Where's my Chocolate Sunburn Skin Tones? I'm trying to remember what the name of my last guy was. Pink Sunburn Summer. Okay, so it's probably going by alphabet. So this is my new one. If I click on any of these, you can see that my color is finding these elements. So Pink Sunburn Summer, there's the brown, the yellow green, the purple, the pink, and the mustard yellow. So the next thing to consider doing is to add these to your swatches. So these are swatches from the Venus Pan. You have to add these individually. So I'm going to go from left to right so it kind of keeps nicely organized. So Pink Summer Sunburn, I'm going to click on that and then click on Add to Swatches. And I can see that it has now been added to the swatch sets. They're always going to be right in front of the gradient. So just keep that in mind. So now I'll click that green. I'll hit Add to Swatches. And we've got a couple more to do. Now, some of you are wondering, are these the only colors that we can use? Nope. These are just kind of the jumping off point of the colors that are going to influence the card that you're working on. So Pink Summer Sunburn, now I'm looking for the mustard one, adding to the swatches, and now I can see that my full color swatch set is right there. And these are colors that I can use to put into my character. So let's say this is the character that's going to use a Pink Summer Sunrise, even though it's not. The way that it works is that we're going to double click into the symbol, and I'm going to click in until I have this all. I'm going to unlock everything. There are some masks, so I'm going to lock and not see that. And let's say this wing, which is a symbol because it goes multiple times around. Let's say this wing, I want to change the color of this wing to be this new color. So what I would do is I go to my swatches and I would select, perhaps we would use the mustard, and you can see that it's going to shift into all of that. Now because there is a mask, it's going to be this weird purple, but let me show you another color shift, which would be, let's zoom in, trying to get that piece of blue. I'm hitting the V tool, which now I have it selected, and I can then make this color that purple. Okay, so now let's see how these colors are jiving. Of course, I'm just kind of shifting the colors out. I'm going to go out of the wing and into the assembly, and then I'm going to lock a bunch of stuff, and you can see that that color has been shifted. I don't particularly like this color, but it's an example of how you're using the color swatches from Adobe Color, and then you're adjusting to make everything work together and fit. You can, as I did before with the Inuit colors that were already a part of my color scheme. So let me show you the true color scheme of this card set. Was this, the Inuit colors. You can see that this blue was used in the lighter version right there. I'm going to Command Z to show you. So I'm undoing that color shift with the new color palette. Cool. Now I'm going to go back to John of Hearts Assembly and into Scene 1. Cool. Now this is the true color scheme of that. So can you use other variety of colors? Sure. You can lighten, you can darken, you can work with that, but generally the color scheme of this card set is coming from this Inuit color. So I've got darks and lights that I can play with. You can see that because I used a gradient, it went from the beige color into the white. White was not a color scheme part of it, but white is something that we're using for the cards, so it's something that is able to be used. So that is Adobe Color directly into Animate and bringing it to life. I hope you guys have some clarity, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.